share some things too. So we're going to dive right in. So the purpose of this call tonight, first, we're not going to do a call on Saturday. And then the Saturday, the 9th is super weekend. So not going to do a team call that day. And then I'm supposed to
Are we
have,
doing like a watch party or anything?
what'd you say?
A watch party for
Yeah.
the super? Okay.
Yeah. We'll probably do like a team, like a watch party. It's so challenging now because they have the different regions and they have things at different times. So it's hard
Oh,
to kind
sure.
of combine
That's true.
everything, but we'll probably maybe try to do a live workout together or something that day. If possible, I'm assuming it'll probably be some kind of a 9-week control freak, like streamed something, or the trainers will do their own little whatevers. Um, so we're not going to be doing like a formal team call the next 2 Saturdays. And I'll probably just drop in the team page a poll to see if there's a time that works better for everyone besides a Saturday morning. Going into this new year, if a Tuesday night is better, or to try to just keep weekends free, especially since kids are going to be back in school again, and maybe Saturdays don't work as well. Anyway, um, so so the next couple weeks, I feel like are a bit challenging and always a little bit hectic, especially this time of year, because if you've been scrolling Facebook or if you've watched TV, there is nothing but like lose weight, this, take this pill, Nutrisystem this, blah, 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 that. And I feel like everything is so in your face about weight loss that like that's literally what everyone is thinking of. And like, God love Peloton, but like all those Peloton commercials and all those ads, and now they're all going to pop up because my Facebook's open in the background. Like, that's all that it is right now. It's all like, join my, whatever, this, and this. And so a big focus is all on the weight loss stuff. And I think we always do such a good job of teaching and preaching balance and lifestyle that like that is what the focus needs to continue to be, teaching people that this is what a healthy lifestyle looks like, and you don't have to pay for all of your food in advance, and have stuff delivered that you don't like to eat, and cut your calories to the point of starvation or nausea or anything in between, or take any kinds of hydroxy cut, fat incinerating whatever gimmick this, and like, one of the Osborne kids is telling you that guaranteed this. So it's a time of year that I just really feel like I have to like level up my own language and say, like, in my post today, just how I don't want to teach my kids that like mommy can't have that because she's on a diet. Like, I want people to understand, like, I'm not going to make you give up your tacos and your wine. Like, not going to happen. So if I'm not giving it up, you shouldn't have to either. So that's kind of something that I kind of wanted to just come out of the gate and say, like, if we're not doing anything to talk about how we can help people in 2021, like, we probably better start, because people are already looking and they're already being bombarded with this weight loss product and that weight loss product. And again, like, love Peloton, but like, I'm like, man, I just can't pull the trigger on a $3,000 piece of equipment, And like, I had a conversation with someone today who had said, I talked to her about her goals and all these things that she wanted to accomplish. And then it came down to price. And she was like, so how much is all of that stuff? And I was like, about 160. And she was like, that's it? And I was like, thank you. Like, yeah, right? Like, that's a really good deal. So like, we have so much value in what we pack in. It's just a matter of like showing other people that value. And we do that through consistent social media presence. We do that through our stories. We do that through like showcasing the results that we have. And it doesn't have to be a transformation that's like, this two completely different people side by side. This is like, you can't really tell a difference, but let me tell you how I feel right here versus how I felt over there. So I think that's really important to share with people too, that like this is, and then also the same things that you're implementing in your own life. Like I don't set my goals for 6 years down the road. I set my goals for this week. Like I don't meal prep for the whole month. I meal prep for the next couple days, or I meal prep for the week, because that is attainable for me right now. So same thing like what Ilana teaches, 2 pounds at a time. I don't want you to focus on how I have to lose 80 pounds this year. I want you to focus on how I have to lose 2 pounds this week. So one foot in front of the other. So same thing with our goals and our vision this year. I would love to sit down and write out this huge vision board that I'm going to buy a yacht this year, and I'm going to earn $1 million, and I'm going to be top this, and I'm going to have all these things. But at the same time, I know what's attainable for me. And also, I don't really want to work that hard. I mean, that doesn't sound great, but like, I don't want to be top coach. I don't. I mean, sure, the title would be great and I would love the crown and all the accolades, but I just know what that looks like. And for me, that's not the kind of work that I want to put in. God love Melanie, and she's great at what she does, but that's not for me. I know what I want to achieve and I know what I want to attain. And those are the kind of goals that I want to set for myself. And I want to encourage you to do the same thing. So we are actually going to implement some new stuff within our team this year. And we are going to follow a more the leadership ladder kind of approach for our own goals. So if you dive into the back office under the training tab, there are some really great training things on leadership ladder. And what happens when we align our actions with what the leadership ladder stuff looks like, we can reach those goals per quarter. So I am, instead of setting all of these goals for the year, elite is great. 10-star would be wonderful. I want to see this team grow immensely. And I want to see my coaches and my coaches' coaches and my team succeed and reach their goals. And however that looks like for everyone individually, that's what I want to help people accomplish. I don't want the goals for me. Sure, I have my own individual goals, but I want to see my other coaches on our team succeed too. So I want to step up my own leadership and do this together. And I think, spoiled dog wants on the chair. It's something on. Sorry. All right, princess, get up there. So I think, aligning our things with the leadership ladder and just kind of taking a look at that, and we'll dive into that. And Melanie has kind of talked about this within the dream team. So some things that are kind of coming down the pipeline that we're going to kind of implement, but really just aligning those like actions with, okay, so maybe, you've set a goal for yourself that like, I want to hit 2-star premier this year. Okay, great. So we know that you're going to need a diamond on each leg. So whether that looks like you're controlling a spouse account or you're recruiting some coaches, we know that it typically takes like 10 coaches to find one coach who wants to work the business. So, okay, then I know that I probably need to recruit at least 20 coaches this year. So just kind of breaking some things down like that. Or then I'm going to dive into this on some slides too. But as far as income stuff goes, like I'd really like to be earning $500 a week. What does that look like? Okay, well, let's take a look at the leadership ladder stuff and let's kind of figure out, okay, in order for me to do that, then these are the action steps I need to be taking. And I know that for every 10 people I talk to who are interested, one signs up. So I know that if I want to find 3 people each month to help and hit Success Club every month, I need to be talking to at least 30 people a month. And if that's one person a day, great. If that's 5 people 6 days a month, great. If that's, okay, I'm going to shoot for 5 people 3 days a week and then see if I can up my numbers there, great. But it's creating those action steps that are going to align with your goals and your vision that you have for the year. Before I go on and pull up my screen, does anybody have any questions? All right. Stop me anytime. Okay. Can you guys see my, nope, not that one. Not my email. My computer has been exceptionally slow lately. Okay. Just want, I like having a brain fart. Like where? Okay, present. There we go. Come on. All right. I saw this quote and I just had to put it on here. You have to have a big vision and take very small steps. To get there, you have to be humble as you execute, but visionary and gigantic in terms of your aspiration. And I mean, it's so true because as we know, if you've read The Compound Effect, we know how the compound effect works. We know that it takes small steps. Same thing with improving our nutrition, same thing with weight loss. The things that we teach our challengers, it takes one day at a time. It takes one foot in front of the other. It takes one workout at a time, one meal at a time. Same thing with building a business. It takes one invite at a time. It takes one social media post at a time. It takes one follow up, and it takes all of those things. And then same with creating our vision. Like we see a lot of these top coaches and a lot of these coaches that have been with Beachbody for a long time, and we see all of these big numbers and all of these big things and go, oh my gosh, like how am I ever going to get there? But everyone started with little to no experience. Everyone started with no downline. Everyone started with no idea how to, invite someone the best way. No, everyone started with, I've never done a Beachbody program in my life before. So we all start somewhere. And, as we're humbly taking these steps to create those goals, I still think it's extremely important to have that big vision, that grand vision. And whether that grand vision is something that's like, I want to buy a new home, I want to pay off my car, I want to, earn six figures, something like that, or whether it's, I want to help pay for groceries every month, or I want to pay my car payment every month and not have to, put something on my credit card or whatever it is. A lot of times I think we struggle with that. Is my vision board worthy enough? Like, are my goals and visions worthy enough to share out loud? Like when I started coaching, I just wanted to pay for my groceries. I didn't want my credit card to be declined in the grocery checkout line. I thought it would be great to have a little extra spending money so we could like go on a date, get a massage, get a pedicure, like little things like that. And like, for me, I was like, why would I create a vision board if I want to get a pedicure every month? Like, that seems ridiculous. But at the same time, like attracts like. When you talk about those things that you want, you will see that other people may also want those things and go, okay, like that sounds cool. I can stay accountable and help other people reach their goals and then earn some income on the side. Great. Tell me how to do that. Well, you do what I do and you help a couple people every month. And if you want to do more than that, great, let's do more than that. My vision continues to change and continues to grow every year. And, I never say these things to sound like a jerk or like bragging or anything like that. And I never want anybody to think that. But as I see more and more potential with what this business can do, for me and my family financially, I am just in awe of the fact that like I have done this with no experience. I mean, who am I? I don't, I didn't start with a big social media following and all of those, and I still don't have, I haven't amassed a ton of followers and stuff like that, but I know what the potential is when I stay consistent. And that's one thing. I may not be the smartest coach in the room, and I may not have the best social media images, and I may not have the best whatever, but I'm not going to quit. I'm consistent and I'm not going to stop. So that's just something that is so, I think, very important as you're laying out your vision for coaching. And again, whether those goals are, small, medium, large, they're all extremely important to you, and they're all worthy. They're all worthy of pursuing. They're all worthy of writing down, creating that vision, sharing that vision. And that's something that I would love to do just a focused vision board workshop, but I think it's kind of challenging sometimes to do that because we have a lot of different ideas for our visions and our goals. And I think sometimes it takes a little bit more than just sitting down and cutting some things out of a magazine and gluing them on a poster board. I think sometimes it takes, okay, you know what? I've actually like, I need to sit down and figure out, as far as my income goals, what do I want those to look like? And as far as my, do I have travel goals? Maybe I do. What do I want those to look like? And these are things that I want to talk about with my significant other and say, these are some things that I want to accomplish. What do you think would be something that we could do together? Or, family goals and stuff like that. I would love to say, like, my vision board has a trip to Bora Bora every year, but like, that's not really a family trip for us. And like, I'm like, let's go to Disney, let's do this, and like things like that change. So I would like for everyone to create their own type of vision board, their own style of vision board, or goals, or whatever that is. And I have a goal worksheet that you can work on, that you can fill out and you can send back to me, or you can send to your upline, or you can share with me and your coach if I'm not your coach. And I'll share that after. I'll put that in this event link, and then also in the team page as well. But it's so important to write these things out, and then to also share that vision and be bold and be audacious and say, you know what, like, I do want those things. Why the hell am I not pursuing them? Like, why not me? I am extremely worthy. My goals are extremely worthy of pursuing. And this is absolutely an avenue that can take you there. So back to action steps, measurable goals. And I'm not going to just vomit all my goals out there and be like, these are all the goals that I have this year and blah, blah, blah. But things that I have noticed when I have a goal, like, so here's an example of a goal. Taking this team to elite this year, and doing an elite retreat for our team, and helping coaches rank advance to their diamond and star diamond goals. Because I see what happens when you hit those next level ranks. And no, like, when you hit diamond, it's not like immediately you start earning all this extra money, because you continue to build and grow your business. But that's a benchmark where I see coaches start to earn significantly more income. And for a lot of people who come into this business, yes, community is everything. And that's why I started. And yes, building relationships is important. And yes, creating those groups that help people reach their goals and get results are so very important. But I'm not going to lie, as much as I would love to say that I would sit here and coach for free, this takes time away from my family. So I need to get paid to do it. I mean, I don't think that sounds like a jerky thing to say. Everyone deserves to be compensated for the jobs that they do. And when you're coaching and when you're putting the time in, you deserve to be compensated for it. So when I say things like, I want to help my coaches rank advance for the purpose of, reaching their own goals, building their own teams, helping their teams build and helping their teams grow, helping continue to get compensated for the more time and effort that they're putting in. I don't think that's a bad thing. But I love the idea of pushing together, leaning in together, linking arms together, and saying, you know what? Yeah, this is worthy of pursuing. Let's do it, and let's do it as a team. So measurable goals. I think about, okay, if I want to build a 10-star team, then I know I'm going to need 10 diamond coaches. And I know that for every 10 coaches I sign up, one potentially will get to diamond. So that means I'm going to need to recruit 100 coaches this year. Okay, so let's break that down. How can I make that goal measurable? Okay, if I'm recruiting 100 coaches, so let's say I need to recruit anywhere from 6 to 12 coaches a month. Okay, wow, that's a lot. Holy crap. Now my armpits are sweating. Okay, so is that really an attainable goal? Can I really potentially do that? Or do I need to lessen my goals a little bit and make them more realistic for the action that I'm willing to take? if I'm only willing to put in an hour of work at my business, is that really an attainable goal? Likely not. So, what would be a more attainable goal? Or if my goal is not rank focused, maybe it's income focused. Okay, I know that in order for me to be compensated for my time, I need to earn $500 a month. Okay, so if I'm putting in 4 hours a week, um, and breaking that up in 30-minute increments, I know that I need to um, have at least 10 new challengers sign on with a challenge pack a month. Is that an attainable goal? Can I do that? Well, if I'm putting in the focused time when I'm working, if I'm focusing on inviting, following up, my presence on social media and inviting from my posts, engaging from my stories, things like that, then yes, that should be an attainable goal. So when you break it down kind of by those measurable goals, all right, what does that look like for me? Is it more income driven? Is it more rank driven? Is it more community driven? Okay, I know that I want to build my online accountability group by 5 people a month. How do I do that? Okay, well, I know that I probably need to talk to 50 people. So I need to figure out and block out my time on my planner or my schedule. What is that going to look like for me? I feel like this is kind of a nerdy call at some points because, that, like, oh, I need to block. But seriously, though, that's what it takes. Because for me, as somebody who's like, woo, like, let's do all the things. Like, if I don't sit down and block out my time and schedule the time that I'm actually going to work my business, then I would love to just sit and scroll social media all day and like do all the quizzes and find out what kind of cheese I am and all of those things. So I know that if I'm not like actually making a point to say, all right, Ashley, on Friday, it's follow up Friday. So you're going to spend 2 hours today, an hour in the morning and an hour in the afternoon, following up with all the people that you've invited this week. So setting those measurable goals and breaking that down kind of step by step. So a lot of times we fall into that, this is going to be my year trap. I've been there, done that. And, we kind of just wipe the slate clean. Same thing with, I think we've all probably done it with our fitness and nutrition and stuff too. Like, okay, this is the year. I'm not going to have any more snacks and I'm really going to be good and blah, blah, blah. And then we trip up or something happens or COVID happens. And then, here we are at the end of the year and we're like, oh, well, clearly this was not my year. And next year is going to be my year. And I love that meme that's circulating. That's like, can no one please claim this as their year? Like, and we can maybe just like get ahead of this year. Like, please don't call this your year. Let's just like try to get through this together. But, I think we tend to fall into that, like, this is going to be my year. But like, if our actions previously haven't been aligning with, what our goals or aspirations are, then it's going to be challenging for this to be your year. So like for me, if I was like, you know what, I'm going to be top coach this year, this is going to be my year. I'm going to be top coach. But in this past year, I didn't do the activities that would put me in a position to be top coach, then it's going to be a really hard goal to try to reach. So for me to say like 5-star elite, that's an attainable goal because I'm setting myself up, and I have been setting myself up consistently to do the things that can reach those goals. Same thing with, I want to hit Success Club every month. Okay, are the actions that we're taking, are those aligning with reaching that goal? Are we consistently inviting? Are we showing up on social media? Are we having those behind the scenes conversations? Are we making a priority? Are we making our business a priority? Or are we just relying on like, maybe someone will see a post and will come to me? Or are we proactively taking those steps to say, okay, you know what? I want to build a team. So I know that I'm going to have to recruit some coaches. That means I'm going to have to lean into my upline a little bit. That means I'm going to kind of have to dive into new coach training stuff and like get just kind of a generalized idea on like, when I have a new coach sign up, how do I want to help them get started right? Or can I have a conversation with one of my new challengers and say, hey, like, I see you rocking it. You ready to do this as a coach yet? Or do you know anybody that might want to do this with you? So prioritizing those things that are going to help us reach our goals that much more. Okay, so kind of the vision board stuff, but this is a little bit different. So, and I'm going to post this in the team page too. But instead of just doing a vision board, I love the idea of having a vision board, because when you visualize those things, it really helps you see, like, that's what I want to work toward. And I have a giant dry erase board that I have over here on my wall that I like break down my business completely on, and I write my monthly stats and who's new for this month and coaches and, you know, what their downlines look like. And then I also write on that dry erase board some of my goals for the year. So last year, the year prior, 2019, I guess, I had on there, like, take the kids to Disney, increase my income by 10%, you know, 500 volume every month, or 1,000 volume every month, or continue to increase my volume by 500 every month, hit SC10 every month, recruit 2 coaches every month, things like that, that were like, okay, these are, you know, pay off my car or pay down my car, not use my credit card, little things like that, that I continued to put on this list. And then as I would achieve goals, I would cross them off, but would still leave them up there so I could see that, like, look what I did. Oh my gosh, I did that. Like, my work did that. So I think it's important to have that visualization. So if, you know, paying for the groceries with your Beachbody income every month is like, that's my jam, I want to do that, then like maybe you make a Canva board and you put, you know, grocery image on there, and then you print it out and you stick it on your wall. And when you do that, when you pay for your groceries with your Beachbody income, you cross that off, because that's a really awesome accomplishment. I remember that first time that I earned $137 was one of my paychecks. And it was a huge deal to me, because I typically spent between like $110 to $130 on groceries. And I was like, yes, I did it. Like, my income this week covered the groceries. And I remember showing my husband, and he was like, great, okay. And I was like, okay, wait, like, I'm going to double it. Like, wait till I have a paycheck that doubles that. And I remember when I doubled it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's more than, you know, $272. Like, I'm so proud. And he was like, okay, good. And I was like, okay, I'm going to double that. And it took time, and it took work, and it took consistent effort. But when that happened, it was, and I didn't have anything to prove to him, but it was me going, I did this. Like, look what I did. And then showing him my challenge group and going, look at this. Like, look at these women that are like checking in and like sharing their transformation pictures and like posting their progress and like sharing their struggles. And like, you know, I know sometimes it seems like, and I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but I know sometimes it seems like I'm on my phone all the time. I'm on my computer all the time. Like, and it's hard for outside sources to see that, like, I'm legitimately doing work here. Like, my kids are like, Mom, why can't you just get Roblox on your phone, since you're on your phone all the time and you can play with us? And I'm like, hold up. Like, that's not how this works. Until you start earning an income from your phone, children, like, or your tablet, then don't talk to me about being on my phone or my computer. I'm not sitting here playing Roblox. But not that I had anything to prove, but that was something that like really helped me work this business even more, when I could show off the things that were happening by me showing up, by me saying, you know what, I'm going to post on social media today, even if I don't feel like it, because there might be somebody out there who needs to hear my message. There might be somebody out there who says, oh my gosh, $137 would sure help out with my grocery bills. I would love to have that. Maybe I should talk to Ashley about coaching. I don't know anything about it, but I'm going to message her and see what she says. And then same thing with the fitness stuff and the transformations and the nutrition. Like, somebody out there needs to hear what you have to say. And you reaching your goals could also mean they're reaching their goals. So don't discount anybody. But make a list of 10 goals. So aside from a vision board, a list of 10 goals, 10 things that you want to accomplish this year, whether that's income related, rank related, personal goals. Maybe you want to read 100 books this year. Maybe you want to get out of your house and go on a trip, whether it's down the street or out of town or whatever. Whatever those goals are. And then circle your top four. Top four that when you close the book on 2021, you're like, yeah, man, look at that. Like, look at those things I accomplished this year. And then we align those actions to meet those goals. So if you have a weight loss goal and your weight loss goal is, you know what, I would love to lose 25 pounds this year. That's a significant goal, should be written down, and you circle it. Okay, great. Like, what are those actions going to be to align with meeting that goal? So I'm going to complete 9-week Control Freak. Then I'm going to do Transform 20. Then I'm going to do 80-day obsession. Then I'm going to do morning meltdown. Then I'm going to finish the year with MBF and MBFA. So maybe that's how you write that plan out. And through doing all those things, I'm going to reach a 25-pound weight loss goal. So circling those top four. And if you need help with breaking these things down, okay, Ashley, I want my income to average $1,000 a month by the end of the year. Okay, well, let's sit down and look at the action steps that it's going to take to get you there. And then also being completely honest with ourselves. Am I willing to do what it takes to work for that? Am I willing to do the things? Sometimes they're going to be challenging. Sometimes they're going to be hard. Sometimes I'm going to want to hit snooze and I'm not going to want to do them. But you know what? They still matter. So keep those other 6 on there, but make that list of 10 and then circle those top 4 that would mean the most to you to reach those goals. And you can be selfish. You can absolutely be selfish. These are your goals. And it's okay to be like, you know what? I kind of wanted to do a family trip, but I really just want to go to the Bahamas by myself and drink a drink on the beach without kids asking for a snack. Like, that's totally fine too. Because that's me right now. Like, I've been with you so much this year. I just want to be on the beach and not have to get you a snack. Measurable goals. Okay, so again, like back to the measurable goals. I'm going to work 2 hours a day. I'm going to invite 10 people a day, depending on what those goals are. I'm going to hit Success Club 5 every month. I want to be a Success Club all-star. I want to hit Success Club, for 12 months this year. I want to earn all of the awesome Success Club prizes this year. Okay, so that means that I need to help 3 people a month with a challenge pack, new people or coaches. So that means that I have to talk to at least 30 people. And I can't just rely on my posts to do the work for me. I know I'm going to actually have to step out of my comfort zone, all of those things. And y'all, I'm still have days where I'm like sweaty armpits. People are going to judge me for sending a message, but at the same time, I'm like, are they though? Like, and if they do, is it really that big of a deal? No, I'm 37. I'm a grown up. Like, I can get over it. Or maybe they'll say, actually, yeah, I've been waiting to message you for like 17 months and thanks for reaching out. So, so writing out those measurable goals for each thing, again, like the weight loss. Okay, these are the things I'm going to do. I'm going to meal prep every week, and I'm going to stop drinking soda, and things that we teach our challengers that help them get to their goals. It's so hard sometimes as a coach to do those things, right? Like, well, I'm a coach. I mean, I can drink the extra glass of wine and I can eat the extra piece of cake. But like, we know that sometimes like I need somebody to coach me and be like, Ashley, come on, that cake does not fit in that yellow container. Put it down. Like, you need to like calm down on the sweets if you really want to reach your goals. So the compound effect of all of these is so very true. And January is like the time to draw the line in the sand. And I have a really great podcast that Kelly shared with me earlier today that I listened to from Keisha Fitzgerald. And it's talking about like that vision and drawing a line in the sand and going, yeah, like, okay, it's time. Like, what am I waiting for? Why am I hesitating? Why am I holding back? Like I'm drawing a line in the sand and I'm going to do the things. And I will say, like, January is a great time to start that momentum and continue to like snowball effect throughout the year. And because it is contagious, the energy is contagious. And when you have that momentum start out in January, these are the people that stick with you for the year. Like these are where coaches come from. Okay, 80-day obsession. I'm starting at January 1st. And then come 80 days, 90 days down the road, they're sharing their transformations on social media. And now that challenger of yours that signed up in January has started coaching on her own. And now she's recruiting other people. So like this is the time where we all come out of the gate with this momentum and we continue compounding that momentum through the rest of the year. And if we're following that leadership ladder and we're going, okay, quarter one, I want to be team builder. So, I've got to build an emerald and I've got to help one of my coaches rank advance and I've got to, earn the volume. I've got to hit success club. These are the things I need to be doing and make sure that I'm doing. And then, come quarter two, okay, I've helped a couple girls find a couple people and get to emerald. And now, I'm helping my coaches follow their own leadership ladders and start their own journey. And build their own foundation for their business. So that continues to compound throughout the year. So, I'm thinking first in quarter one, all right, can I do all those things in quarter one? And can I create that momentum? And if I have people coming in that are showing up every day and are checking in every day, these are the people that I need. I need to be their hype girl, number one. And number two, I need to go, sister, like, this is something you can do too. Just because you signed up as a challenger doesn't mean you can't coach other people, because look at me. I didn't know what I was doing when I started, but I didn't want to do it alone. So this is why we do this together. So again, the quarterly goals, aligning with the road to elite. And one thing COVID has shown us this year is we can't plan anything in advance. So trying to plan for a whole year of goals is hard to do because we don't know where we're going to be at the end of March. We don't know where we're going to be come summer. So I think that's why it's important to say, okay, what are the things that I can accomplish now? What are the things that I can do first? One thing that my coach Deidre got me this Start Today planner by Rachel Hollis, and it's gorgeous. And there's all these beautiful things in here. And I'm a $9 Target planner kind of girl. Like this is my jam, but this is gorgeous. And it's a quarterly planner. And I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't buy the Target planner that I always love. I'm going to try this quarter and see how it goes. Because again, like it's broken down by day. Like these are my today results. These are my this week's goals, my 5 to Thrive stuff. And then it's broken down by like hourly. So I can write out. And I would love to tell you that a new planner is going to just make all of the magic happen and that we're going to turn the calendar over and 2021 is going to be like the year of amazingness. Clearly, we don't know that. But I don't know. This could be amazing and this could be a flop for me. It's a crapshoot. We won't know until we get there. So quarterly planner. I just know that trying to plan 12 months in advance can get a little overwhelming and anxiety ridden. So I think we take those first steps and we start with that first little bit. And then also, I kind of just wanted to touch on this real quick, high value versus low value activities. And a lot of this kind of comes back to social media because our business is so based on social media and engaging with other people that it's so easy to say, I'm working when, I'm sitting on my phone scrolling for hours. And I'm super guilty of this, especially during the holidays in the last couple of weeks. And then the quarantine stuff, like just sitting and like, I mean, okay, maybe I'll connect with some people. And then I'm lost in an Instagram spiral of looking at, somebody's cousin's mom's friend's cookbook page. And here I am like, oh, that wasn't even what I intended to do. And it's 37 minutes later. Or how did I end up on TikTok? Like what has happened to my life right now? So high value activities versus low value activities. So things that are going to help me reach my goals: posting on social media, inviting, stories, call to actions, connecting and engaging with those people that are in my stories, those power hour type of activities. These are the non-negotiables. Like, these are the things, the business activity tracker stuff that I know are the things that build my business. And then the low value activities, I love a newsletter. I love a good newsletter, but that is not always bringing me all the people that are ready to sign up for my group. It's pretty. I love sending them out, but man, I could literally spend hours out of my day making a newsletter, or I could spend half that time sending out 25 invites, and that is going to build my business a lot more. Creating the content that I think it's important, yes, to have a plan. But again, like, I sat to try to write a post for hours the other day, and I was like, look at me just over here writing this post for hours, and I didn't even post it. It's still in my notes. And I'm like, what am I doing? This is such a waste of time. If I would have just spent that time talking on my stories about my challenge group, or connecting with people who've been watching my stories, or telling people happy holidays and like, what was your favorite gift you got this year? Creating those like conversations that create relationships. Like, that's so much more high value versus the alternative. And then reinventing the wheel. I y'all know me. Like, I love a brand new training and a new this, but like, oh, it's so time consuming to do all those new things when you can just lean in and utilize the resources that we have. And there's tons of resources that we already have. And then same thing with making graphics. And I will say that Mompreneur, $18 a month is like the best money I've ever spent, because I would spend so much time making all of that stuff, when now I have a virtual assistant that I pay to do it for me. And that's just such a time saver. So if you're somebody that's like, I need to do that, and you haven't yet, that's a great investment. Or if you're somebody who's like, I could really stand to pay my 17-year-old niece to create some really great images for me to use for my posts and stuff, or my challenge groups, or to check into my challenge groups, or something like that. So outsource it if you can, and focus on the high value stuff. So I do have that goal worksheet that I am going to share. It's a Google Doc. There is a hard copy. You can make a copy, type on it, send it back to me, or send it to your coach. And again, like, I do think a vision board is important. I didn't really want to do just a focused vision board party, because again, like, we're all in different time zones and we all have different, sometimes we need really loud music and like all the chaos to do that, and it's just not a great Zoom activity all the time. So that, and or a Canva image, something that you can see it daily, or even if that's a Post-it note with those 10 goals and those 4 are circled that you stick on your computer. So when you sit down every day, you're like, this is why, because I wanted to earn that Success Club trip in 2022. So this is why I'm going to show up every day. This is why I'm going to commit to that time this year, and this week, and think of that time that you're setting aside like as an important meeting that you're not going to break. This is time that I have dedicated to myself and my business, to my, the goals that I have for my family. And for me, it was really hard at first to say, like, please take these kids so I can get some work done, because I'm like, I'm a mom. I'm at home for a reason. I have to be with these kids all the time. But it was such a lifesaver when I found somebody to help me out just a little bit, so I could actually do focus time on my business and not do like scattered time here and like sucky parenting over there. So it was like, okay, you get all of me when I'm not here, but when I'm here, this gets my attention. So if you're able to do those things and completely devote your time to your business, time chunk it, block it out, and say, this is the time that I need to do these things. And then focus on those high high value things. And another thing that's in that goal worksheet is the book, The 12-Week Year, and it focuses on quarterly goals. If you haven't read it or listened to it, the Audible version is really great too. It may be something that you choose to pick up for, it's a quick read for 2021, something to listen to. And that just really helps with kind of that quarterly vision and that quarterly focus. And it's a very businessy book, but it's a good, like, it gets you in a really good mindset. And I have a really old version, like a little thin version, but I got the Audible too. And I think there's a kind of a cheat sheet kind of guide on Amazon too. That's like the accompaniment to 12-Week Year or something, that's like a little guide that is good too. But if you're, like, all right, let's do quarterly goals, like let's start here, that may be a good one to kind of jumpstart the year with. And again, like back to kind of the January stuff that I talked about, like this is that snowball effect, like the momentum, it's your business, it's your momentum. And if you choose to start it now, and if you choose to say, you know what, like I know there's people that need help, so I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to help them, and I'm going to start now. And then just real quick, the Emily Favre story. Emily Favre was a top 10 coach last year, the last 2 years. And she, I'm trying to even think what summit that was, since we didn't have summit last year, 2 summits ago. She had started the year out in January as an Emerald coach. It was the year 80 Day Obsession came out. And she started that year out as an Emerald coach. And I think she had been Diamond and like had dropped her Diamond. And anyway, long story short, she started 80 Day Obsession and she followed the program and the nutrition to a T. And she got these results that, I mean, it wasn't this, absurd, like she didn't lose 100 pounds in 80 days, but she was proof the product worked, and it does. And when you commit to it, and we know this, when you commit to the program and commit to the nutrition, you get results. And she shared her journey every step of the way. She shared what she ate, she shared her workouts, she shared her stretches, she shared all of the things, and she talked about everything that she did. And this is how I got results. And people were getting results with her in her groups, and then we're reaching out to her. What are you doing? Tell me how you're doing. Tell me how you're getting these results. So her momentum kept going. And she went from Emerald coach to 15-star Diamond in that same year, and finished the year as a top 10 coach, because she continued to build that momentum. And it's the first time anybody had ever done that in Beachbody, which is why it's like such a big story, because nobody had ever done it. But also because she chose and still used her Instagram and Facebook platform to share her journey. This is what we do as coaches. It's our job. We're proof the product works. We show people how to get results. We teach them how to do the things. And she did it. And it worked. And people flocked to her because they felt that energy and they felt that momentum. And she's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but this is what I'm doing. And this is what we're doing it together. So find some people to do it with you, and let's get them all in a group, and we'll just keep going. And she continued to do that and build her own community and her own team. And people didn't join her because she was part of a bigger team that had these great leaders on it. They joined her because they saw what she was doing was working, and they felt that energy and they felt that momentum. And she built an amazing business. And if you follow her, you see her adorable baby that has this Big Bow cooking show that is so freaking cute. And like it's anyway, super cute, side note, but she has this cute baby that she cooks in the kitchen and has this giant bow, and it's really adorable. So anyway, and then real quick, systems are key. Like I said, we are going to focus more on this leadership ladder type stuff for 2021. And there's no need to reinvent the wheel. In our team page, and I need to go back through the units and kind of fine tune them a little bit. But onboarding, as far as onboarding goes, when you sign up a new coach, you can literally send them to the welcome email that they got from Beachbody. You can send them to the onboarding, or you can go to the onboarding unit on our team page. You can send them to the training tab. Watch those 5 videos in the back office that teach you how to set up your back office, how to set up your bank account. So, I'm sorry. Okay. That's my cue. And then just those simple things. And then also, I love you too. I'm
getting in the shower.
Okay, good idea.
I got some boots and like everything I need except for the pants.
Okay, cool. I'll go look tomorrow. I just posted a copy of my Google Boot Camp pre-enrollment form in the team page. I updated that and put the 9-week Control Freak images in there. That is something you're more than welcome to make a copy of and use. I have been using that all year, and that is like my jam. That's like the thing that I'm using, the thing that I'm sending to people after I have a conversation with people. That's how I'm enrolling people. Same thing with 9-week Control Freak. I use that form from Mompreneur. It's very, very similar, and just sending that. And then I'm just sending them my welcome packet. I am going to do January's, and I'll share that in the team page too. I think Amanda and Kelly kind of fine-tuned it for January, and added some of the January stuff. I haven't got there yet, but once I get that done, I'll put that in there. But it's really just that simple system. Like, you have a system for enrolling someone, you have a system for plugging them into your accountability group. And with a new coach, that simple that document that I have that's like, I'm a coach now, what? And then always sending them to the back office for those training videos is very, very simple. And I think what's best is, yes, we can create all of the new Facebook groups and things like that, but just those conversations. How are you doing? What can I help with? Did you work through the training videos? If not, let's go back and do those things first, because I think it's important that you know how to access your back office, how to enroll a customer, make sure your bank account's set up, and then just the social media stuff. And we just start sharing our story. So that's all I have with these slides and everything. I will upload these slides into the team page too. So if you want to use these, share these, anything like that, you're more than welcome to. And then I've got a few more things I want to finish up for the end of the year, for today and tomorrow, that I'll just kind of put into the team page. But I will drop that document in there tonight, that goal worksheet. So feel free to take that, copy it, send it to your coaches or anything like that. And just let me know if you need anything. I will be out of town from the 2nd to the 6th. So I will likely be checked out. But you can always post in the team page. We have a pretty awesome support system of others who are willing to help out and answer questions and stuff too. So thanks guys for getting on. Does anybody have any questions or anything you want to add?
Nope,
No,
all
good,
good.
a lot of good stuff.
All right. And yeah, you don't have to share these, but if you want to share, 10 goals and the 4 that are circled, you can. If you want to keep them private, you can too. You certainly don't need to. Or if you want to private message them to me or to your coach, or if you want to share them on social media too. I mean, that's something that I've done in the past, is write out some pretty audacious goals and have shared them and talked about why I'm sharing these goals and why I share things on social media to help me stay accountable. But yeah. All right, gals. Ooh, let's do a boomerang real quick. Okay. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Well, thanks, gals. Let me know if you guys need anything. You guys have a good night.
Good night.
Yep. You too. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
New Year. Woo-hoo.